So, I wanted to take some time and talk about kindness because I did a little bit of that in a previous video, and I think somebody misinterpreted what I was getting at. Kindness is not allowing yourself to be run over, taken advantage of. Sometimes kindness is absolute unadulterated truth. Sometimes kindness is telling people that you won't tolerate disrespect. Sometimes kindness is defending yourself and sticking up for yourself and not allowing people to run over you. It's not about being argumentative or angry. It doesn't have anything to really do with violence. But what it does have to do with is your tolerance to bullshit. And we all know what that bullshit is. True kindness comes from the heart. And it is, if you've done your shadow work, a culmination of both sides of light and shadow. It's the necessity of not allowing to be hurt for the sake of being hurt. You know, you don't have to take anybody's nonsense. There is a definite division between right and wrong. And we know that treating people a certain way or discarding people or allowing people to point fingers and name call is not necessarily the most advantageous route to take. That doesn't mean you have to be combative. That doesn't mean that we have to peddle rumors or fight fire with fire. You're way better off fighting fire with water. It puts it out quicker. So sometimes no action is an action. No response is a response. You don't have to give any more or any less than you're willing to. And we know what these things are in our hearts. We know the value of ourselves. And we also know that giving people the opportunity to run us over is just another way of belittling ourselves to ourselves. We are important. We are loved, and we are worthy of that love. And if somebody is not willing to reciprocate that love, then we don't necessarily have to discard them. We just don't have to pay attention. I mean, if there's a beautiful flower garden on one side of the road and the city dump is on the other side of the road, which side of the road are you going to go to? You know, there might be some valuable garbage, though. And that's how we embrace our shadow. It's not there to deter us from our kindness and from our love and from our generosity. It is there to show us when we're being too kind, generous, and loving. Because that can be a fault too. So you don't want to get trapped in going too far left or too far right. Embracing your shadow it's very difficult because you've got to love it. And it's hard to love something that you've been trying to fight your whole life. To be the good person, to do the right thing, to be the model human. Because there are no model humans. The best thing we can do is to embrace who we truly are. So if one of your shadow points is greed, and you're always searching for money and new ways to make money, and you repress that, The opposite of that would just be giving away too much, being too kind, being too generous. And that comes with a fault too. You can give of yourself so much that people will start taking advantage. And then it's hard to differentiate between kindness and stupidity. So be loving in ways that are conducive to the situation. That's the best advice I could possibly give. But you don't need to tolerate disrespect. You don't need to tolerate close-minded, negative, ungrounded people. You don't have to tolerate it. It's not who you are, and it's not necessary. So, long story short, don't let people take advantage of you, but be kind anyway. You know? You don't have to be vicious. You can simply say no. You can simply defend yourself. You can simply fight back. I think there's too many good-hearted, kind-hearted human beings on this planet right now that are being taken advantage of. And there's a point, man. There's a fucking point where you just have to say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to deal with your imbalance. That's not my problem. I am not responsible for you. And I don't have to give my life over just because you can't handle your own. So yes, be loving, be kind, because in that is happiness and joy and contentment. Happiness is fleeting, but contentment can be forever. And then once that's taken care of, happiness can be forever too. You don't have to think certain ways at certain points for the benefit of others. You can just do that for the benefit of yourself. And I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with people talking about selfish spirituality, because at its root, spirituality is selfish. You need to concentrate on yourself. If you just keep ignoring the problems, they're not going to go away. They're just going to get worse. So if we allow ourselves to love ourselves, we can allow ourselves to love others. But like I said, that comes with conditions. That doesn't mean my love is unending. That just means that next time you screw me over, I'm going to be a little bit more careful with my love. I will still love you because you're part of the divine, you're part of the source, and you're necessary. Everyone is necessary. But I don't have to trust you. So you don't have to give of yourself until it hurts. You don't have to be loving until it hurts. You can just be you. Much love.